All right. I just want to talk to you about that book. It was a good segue.
Oh, did you read it?
No.
Okay.
But I want your thoughts, like
Okay.
just face to face. Why do you think college is a scam?
Okay. So, half of this audience, if you get a job, will get a job that doesn't require a college degree. 41% of kids that enter college will not graduate. And the vast majority of kids, 60 to 70% that go to college, I believe study things that are completely worthless, meaningless, and don't enrich society at all.
But is that the fault of the student or the college? Because I looked in the stats for this. It's usually because they either don't have the finances to support themselves going to college, they have mental health problems that lead them to dropping out, or stress, or their family's not supporting them. So is that the fault of college that they pick bad degrees? Is that the fault of the college that they can't support themselves, right? It's like getting a gym membership and then saying, well, I don't want to actually go work out. It's the fault of the gym.
So, a good question. So first, the 41% of kids that drop out, the federal government will fully underwrite any four-year college through FAFSA. You know that, through a student loan. Meaning, so if anyone has financial difficulty, that's not really a thing. The federal government will fully grant you your loan to any four-year university, right? So you might not want to take on that student loan burden. You might not want to take that on, but that's number one. Number two, I can't speak to the mental health issues. I doubt that 41% of the kids that graduate in that number all have mental health issues, but maybe that's the case. I'm not sure. I don't know that number. But let's talk about the institution itself. So everyone in the audience here, how many of you have had to take classes that are a waste of time that you wish you didn't have to take, that are a waste of money, and that every single hand goes up? Look around. They're scamming every kid in this audience. They are forcing them to take classes that make them poorer, that take up their time in order to get the credential. That is a institutional scam. And by the way, every other part of life is all about your own customization. Your Netflix account, how you get your burrito bowl, from how you dress, your Amazon cart is you are in charge. But you come to college and they say you must go take these 3, 4, 5 classes that are very expensive, especially for you out-of-state students, to go further into debt, study things that don't matter, to find jobs that don't exist. That sounds like a scam.
At least in my personal experience, right? Like maybe some colleges, I would say.
What are you studying?
I'm studying economics.
Right, okay.
And what I would say is that I have a great levity and choices of classes I want to take. Even if there's a bunch of general education classes, I have a great flexibility in the class I want to take. It's up to the student if they want to take meaningless classes given their credit limit.
Okay, but I would just speculate that this school still has specific criteria of classes, right? Am I correct? Yeah, you have to take a diversity class. That sounds like a scam.
Well,
they are robbing you to take a diversity class.
It's actually not what you typically think. I think
I'm taking, is it true? Do you guys have to take a diversity class?
No, this is true.
Okay.
This is true.
All right, so that's a scam. Let's be clear. Diversity class, scam.
Can you define what a scam is?
When you are getting ripped off of with your money, your time, your resources, either beyond what is a market rate or against your will. So I'll give you an example. If you guys want to fly to New York and Spirit Airlines says we're going to charge you $2,500 for a one-way ticket, I think we'd all could agree flying Spirit Airlines for $2,500 is a scam. You know it when you see it.
It depends on how you view the worth of college. The federal Reserve for San Francisco released a newsletter discussing the actual finances behind is college actually worth it, and they found that by age 40 you recoup the average student recoups all their costs
if they graduate.
If they graduate, and even accounting for that, other economists also state.
No, so that's an important study. If you take out the top 10%, that's not the case. So
top 10% of what?
Top 10% of graduates and income earners. So the top 10% end up flourishing with a college degree. The other 90% do not. Do you know that there are 11 million job openings in this country that pay $75,000 a year, that require 6 weeks of training, that require muscular labor or using your hands? 11 million job openings. Now, a lot of you guys are in college because you've been pushed into college saying that you must get the piece of paper, when there are good paying jobs, 11 million of them, but either your society, your parents, or your own choices are, no, I want to go to college, I want to go after that piece of paper. My contention is that there are way better options out there for a lot of students. Not every student, but a lot of other students.
Charlie, I think a part of your core rhetoric, there's actually some real truth there that I think there's people who are getting really just pressure to go to college even if they're making poor choices. I'm just saying that even while you're in college, you can make better choices to make yourself a better candidate.
I totally agree. Do you think most people do?
I know some that are making great choices.
Okay.
I know some that are making terrible choices.
So let's think about this. Why do you think, let's just say most make terrible choices? Would you say that's the case?
I'll give you 40 to 60.
Why do you think that is? Maybe because the institution incentivizes bad choices. It's easy to coast and still graduate. It's easy just to check the boxes, right? It's not an institution designed around excellence. It's around let's get you through the mill as quickly as possible, get the piece of paper, pay your bill. Thank you very much.
But do you think that the culture around students going to college could change instead, around their decision making?
I think we need way less kids going to college. The institution itself is so broken, let's be clear. Forced diversity classes, DEI, all that stuff, it's nonsense. If it was really, college really should be closer to what Hillsdale College is, which is about wisdom, beauty, truth, goodness, not just about job preparedness. But we've lost that completely. If it's about doctors, lawyers, engineers, and the skills, of course. But you know that, it's way beyond that. I mean, people going to, not to pick on you, but you're studying economics, that's terrific. That's a good reason to go to college. It's not the best reason, I'll be honest, but it's a good reason, right? I mean, economics is a serious discipline. It's a real science. We need people really rigorously studying that.
I saw some people with the shirt that says, school, college is a scam. It's quite the statement, and could you elaborate a little bit more on that? Do you believe college is a scam?
Yeah, half this audience, if you guys get a job, will end up getting a job that doesn't require a college degree.
Okay.
Then?
So
we get a job that requires a college degree. Yeah, so any business that has a 50% rate of a customer being scammed will be shut down by the federal government for disenfranchising their customers. You went to Chili's, hey, 50% chance that our fries are going to give you food poisoning.
So if you look at college more than just getting a job, more as educating the population, would you say that's a scam?
Well, it depends on what you think college is and what it's become. Secondly, 41% of people that enter college don't graduate. The dropout rate's insanely high.
That's true.
Third, what exactly is being taught here? It's a great question. Are you learning about the beauty of Western civilization and reading the Federalist Papers of Hamilton and Madison and Jay? And do you get a positive view of America, or do you spend time on postmodernism of Michel Foucault and Jacques Derrida and Jean Stefanik and Derek Bell?
I'd say more networking.
Oh, networking.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Wait, before we go dive deep into it, what's your definition of a scam?
Where a serious proportion of your customers are not given the value proposition that they pay for.
Education, right.
Which they're not getting, yeah.
You're saying, so therefore...
Well, that's the question. You come here to get educated, you guys are coming from the wrong thing. This is just a glorified credentialing exercise.
Yeah, and that's what you're paying for, but therefore it's not
okay,
scam.
so it's not education. You're just paying for a piece of paper so you can get a job.
And education,
Oh, is it education? So
are you... It is education, sorry.
But education...
learning how to work, learning how to move around a professional workforce.
You need to go to college to learn that?
Yes, I'd say so.
I think you're being scammed, man. Take it from someone who didn't go to college. You don't need any of that stuff.
Yeah. Would you say a doctor would need a college degree?
Well, of course, but the vast majority of kids here aren't studying to become a doctor.
How many engineers are in here?
Yeah. Okay. So how many people that are studying social or liberal sciences? Social sciences. Yeah, a fair amount.
Okay. But it's a personal choice. Therefore,
the vast majority of kids that go to college are social sciences, psychology, communications. Mm-hmm. About only 18 to 20% are studying engineering.
And you say they shouldn't go to college?
Well, it all depends. Again, it depends on what you're studying,
exactly.
Why you're there. But you don't. This idea that engineering, you need a 4-year degree, you could also just learn to code in 6 months and work for Salesforce and earn $180,000 a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, it is true. You have to go to college to learn to code? Okay, that's my point. I'm not saying it's easy, you just need to go to college. Secondly, what does a manager of a Walmart Supercenter make a year? Anybody know?
What?
It's $400,000 a year.
$400,000?
Yeah, they don't require. Yeah, you guys should just go become a manager of a Walmart. Doesn't require a college degree. What does the average plumber make in Scottsdale, Arizona? $115,000 a year. What does the average HVAC technician make in Henderson, Nevada? $75,000 a year. But those don't require college degrees. There are 11 million job openings in this country right now that don't require college degrees. We are oversupplying college.
But yet you're here taking advantage of college and college students.
Am I taking advantage? Is that what I'm doing?
You're taking advantage of the space, of taking advantage of the students, not in a way of intellectually taking advantage.
It's like going to a place to tell people you're being scammed. If you call that taking advantage, then so be it.
Yeah, I mean, you're taking advantage as you're taking my time, you're taking everyone's time.
You're volunteering your time too. I didn't
Wait,
force you.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
You're taking
Okay.
our time. We're
Fair
investing
enough.
our time.
I do this also in other places than campuses too. So.
Yeah, no, but then you're here and then you're saying college is a scam.
It is. Half of you guys will end up getting a job where your entire college debt burden means nothing. You will get a job that does not require a college degree at all. You're 4 years wasted. You shouldn't have come here in the first place. Half.
Well, I disagree with you, and
All right. Well,
that's fair.
I hope
Cool.
I hope it's worth
Have
it.
a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you.
You dropped out of college, and your highest,
Community college.
your Harper College experience.
Yeah,
I apologize.
barely was smart enough to make it through community college.
Okay, so
Barely
and
made it through high school
your
too.
highest degree level is an honorary doctorate degree from Liberty University.
No, that's true. I do have an honorary PhD.
Yeah. So essentially, what are your qualifications for arguing that college is a scam, or really having any economical knowledge at all, when likely the vast majority of the students here know more than you about economics as a whole?
Okay, so no, hold on. It's okay, guys. It's okay. Who's Milton Friedman?
Who's Milton Friedman? I have no idea, and it's not important to this conversation.
Who is Ludwig von Mises?
These are all probably economists, and the same
Yeah.
thing.
Who is John Maynard Keynes?
Okay, obviously I know who Keynes is.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
He's the most famous economist of all
Well,
time.
You don't know Milton Friedman?
I mean, that's an economist.
Okay. How about Murray Rothbard?
That's another economist.
F.A. Hayek?
I don't know who that is.
Well, then you just came here and insulted my intelligence. You're right, I barely made it through community college because I was too busy, starting a national youth movement with hundreds of thousands of members.
Hey, hold on, though. Hold on.
Employing hundreds of people, raising hundreds of millions of dollars,
Yes.
having a top 10 most popular podcast,
Sure.
and reaching tens of millions of people online every day.
Sure,
But hold on.
but you're also
What are my
calling all of your
qualifications?
constituents idiots
No,
by
I've
saying
never
they
said that,
participate in a
actually.
scam. Their
Hold on a
shirt's
second.
right there.
I'm
College
calling
is
the
a scam.
institution a scam.
So then
I never
why-
insulted
okay,
the
so then-
intelligence. I just
so
had
then-
10 people come up and we had warm conversations. So you asked, what are my qualifications? I'm a job creator, entrepreneur, autodidact. Do you know what that word means? Yeah, self-taught. You should probably learn that word if you're going to come up and insult other people's intelligence.
Hey.
So autodidacticism is what Leonardo da Vinci was. You don't have to go to college to be wise. You don't have to go to college to be intelligent. I read 100 books a year. I visit over 150 colleges.
I'm not saying you're unintelligent. I'm just saying you lack qualifications.
Well, are you a New York Times bestseller?
Of course not. I'm in college.
Got it. So I'm just trying. What are my qualifications? I have published books, read lots of books, dialogued with a lot of people, and instead of asking what my qualifications are,
yet
can you
you're
name one thing I've
consistently
ever said
wrong.
that? Hold on. Name one thing I'm wrong about.
You just now incorrectly cited the difference between socialism and communism. While you
How
yourself.
so? What did I
How
do?
so? You claimed that Russia was socialist. Russia was
the
never
Soviet
socialist.
Union was socialist.
No, it was a communist nation. There is a significant difference between the two.
Why did Lenin say that socialism is the gateway to communism, and he was self-described socialist
Lenin-
in his private treatise and documents in the Russian Revolution?
Lenin
before
was
he took
overtaken
over
by
the
Stalin.
capital? Hold on a second. No,
So-
Lenin died, and then Stalin was his successor.
Yes.
But Lenin himself said, quote, that socialism is the introductory phase to communism. Did he not say that?
So then the vast majority of people, when they're referring to communist Russia, are referring to Stalin's rule over Russia. That was a communist rule that turned into a fascist rule later on.
Okay, so but what thinker was deified in Soviet Russia?
Thinker was deified?
Yes.
Marx.
Oh, and what book did Marx write?
Yes, he wrote Capital, and he also wrote the
Communist Manifesto. Who was his co-author?
Who was co-author?
Yeah, Engels. Good. I'm
Engels.
glad college is really paying off for you.
Hey.
But it's okay. It's fine. He comes up here and insults my intelligence. What are your qualifications? Doesn't even know the co-author of the Communist Manifesto or Das
Listen.
Kapital. But no, let me just
But does my lack of knowledge on that mean that I have no knowledge?
You
Again,
came
is that
up
the same
here
thing?
and insulted me, and you came up here guns a-blazing, man. And let me just ask again, what did I say that was wrong? I said that under the generally agreed upon definition of communism and socialism, which are interchangeable terms, one is a more harsh degree of the other, is that the elimination of the family, the elimination of private property, and the deprivation of basic human rights such as right to speech, right to assembly, and right to worship. How is that not a good definition of communism or
Because
socialism?
that
as
explains
per the
fascism
doctrine?
better.
Well, but in the Communist Manifesto, Marx said, quote, "We are here to destroy the nuclear family and eradicate the family because it was the original oppressive tyrannical structure. He said religion is the opiate of the masses and that private property must be eradicated. I have just now documented all three of those with evidence back to original source documents. And then in practice, Russia did all those three things when they were the Soviet Union. So where am I wrong?
But then at the same time, if you claim that those are all negative things, then why do you practice certain things in the doctrines that you just stated?
Well, I'm not trying to take people's stuff away. I want people to have bigger families, and I want churches to remain open.
Yeah, but the thing is
So how
your
do I
main
practice?
no, but your biggest thing, your biggest point that everyone here is for is that you're a potential white supremacist. So
What evidence do you have that I'm a racist?
I was just literally watching a video of you talking about whiteness as a whole, talking about whiteness as a concept, okay? And you were trying to explain how white privilege doesn't exist.
Correct, it doesn't.
You are a white man. How do you know?
Because I have eyes.
Because you have eyes. That's
And
not
I
a
have
description.
reason. So what can a black person do that I can't do in America, or
What can a
vice
black
versa?
person do?
What can I
So,
do a black person can't do? I
Let's
should say.
think of some history right here. Let's go
No,
through the history
no,
of redlining.
I don't need a history. I don't need a
Yes,
lesson.
no,
you're talking about white
You do
privilege.
need a history lining. Clearly, you need a history
I know your
lesson.
talking points better than you do, and I've read all the literature that you have. I've probably forgotten more
History
about the
affects
literature.
history affects the present day as well, and you know that's true. If you went to college, you would know.
Well, hold on a second, but let me.
So then why are you wearing the college as a scam shirt? Drop out.
Well, because you could.
So it's because you don't believe your own beliefs, and that's what I'm
Well,
saying.
you can admit something's a scam and still get through it. That's why he's wearing it. Okay.
Then why?
You could feel like you're getting ripped off by an airline
But
and still
anyways,
want to get
that's
to New York.
not what we're talking
okay?
about anymore.
Like you're like, I'm getting ripped off by a $1,000 ticket, but you still get on the airplane. Like it doesn't make you a hypocrite. It means that the people are ripping you off, and a lot of you are getting ripped off. But no. So as far as white privilege, just without the history lesson of Jim Crow, segregation, imperialism, colonialism, slavery, all the stuff that I know that you're going to say. But just concretely, in America today, what can a white person do that a black person can't do?
Black applicants to jobs are 50% less likely to get jobs if they have a black-sounding name.
That's not even close to being true. That's not even close to being true.
That is a literal.
In fact, it's the
yes,
opposite.
I'm not going to argue your lived experience. I'm not going to. No.
See, now you have to listen to him under your rules because a black person is going to say you're wrong.
I am. He can say I'm wrong. I know.
Come on up to the mic.
I know. I read your.
My name's Keemon Dixon. I have a really black name. Please tell me how 50% of my internships have been denied when I've worked for Senator Mike Lee, Mayor Trent Stacks, Speaker Mike Schultz.
Hold on.
I worked for Congressman Burgess Owens. I've actually worked on his campaign. I've worked on the campaigns of John Huntsman Jr. Please tell me how my black experience and my black name has not given me shit. Go ahead.
I'd like to disagree with you
All right,
about college as a scam.
Okay.
Just because there's 50% of people who you say don't need college to get a job, why would it be a scam? There's a social impact about college, on America. College is, good.
The majority of kids that go to college when they graduate have a lower view of America than when they entered. Do you think that's a troubling thing?
I think just changing your opinion doesn't really matter too much.
Do you think that college teaches responsibility and hard work and...
Sure.
Okay, well, I find that hard to believe. Why is it that employers are more and more not wanting to hire college graduates and they actually want to hire people that didn't go to college?
What employers?
You can name them out, man. Walmart just got rid of even in their corporate level, so you don't need to go to college. Koch Industries, one of the largest employers in the country, from Georgia Pacific Railroad to Dow Chemical. They said we no longer want kids that have gone to college because they end up causing problems because they're super entitled. And they're like, oh, what are my pronouns? And they have all this left-wing nonsense that they've been filled with.
Well, then you have engineers, doctors, lawyers, people that
Sure, we need that, but that's less than 20% of the people that go to college.
Yeah, but
college
it'd
is
be
an
wrong to say
institution.
college is a scam if 25% of people become great people. Lawyers, doctors, engineers.
That's
able
not
to
what
really
college
help the
currently
world.
is, though. Again, I'm happy to have you read the book. College is a scam. I wrote it. I can have a more wordy thing, which is the vast majority of people that go to college are receiving a scam for the money that they're borrowing. The vast majority. Of course, there's exceptions. You can make whatever you want with your life. But I mean, when you enter into an enterprise, you need to know that you are
go into college
let
make
me
more
prove
money
this to
at
you.
the end.
How many of you guys have to take classes that are a waste of time that you wish you wouldn't have to take? Every single hand. You're being scammed against your will to take classes that make you go further into debt. Why can't you say I don't want to take this class? Why as a customer you can't say...
Can you do a differential equation?
You what?
Can you do a differential equation?
Can I do
Can you explain to me the anatomy of a human?
Somewhat off the top of my head.
You know what psychology is.
Yes, I do know what psychology is.
Okay,
I've read
can you
Freud and I've
explain
read Jung.
to me?
Do you want me to explain psychology?
Well, you can't explain it to the depths of a bachelor's degree or a PhD.
Well, hold
or
on a second.
master's.
Time out. I've sat here with no notes, no phone, and debated people with
Yeah, because
PhDs,
you study
masters.
this because it's your job.
Hold on. I didn't go to college, man. That's the point. Is you could do whatever you want without a college degree. You could listen to podcasts, read books. You
Think
don't
about
need
if
to
Gauss
go.
wasn't able to go to the University of Göttingen. That's
Say-
literally the reason.
I can't hear what you
Gauss-
said. What'd you say?
You know Gauss, right?
Mathematician. Yeah, vaguely, sure. Okay.
Vaguely.
Yes, vaguely. Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know who
okay.
Milton Friedman is? Do you know who Herbert Marcuse is? You know who Thomas Sowell is?
Do you use a phone?
Do you know who Gouverneur Morris is?
Well, that's 'cause of Gauss.
No, you don't. So I could do gotcha too.
Like
so before
Euler
you try to
went
get
going
off
to
your ivory
university
tower
is the
and understand
reason
that not
he
everybody.
was able to become so proficient in mathematics.
So here's
and
the
change
thing.
the world.
The majority of kids that go to
Most
college
people
are
that get
more
a
depressed than when they
PhD
enter.
degree are able
Secondly-
to perform much better in their field than someone who doesn't.
Well, then, if that's the question, if that really is true, if
Well-
college is this amazing accelerant, then why do so
I
many
wouldn't say
people?
it is accelerant, but if you're looking at a
let me
field of
finish.
science,
Let
right?
me finish, man.
And you want to
Have you taken a
accelerate that field of
communication
science,
course, or have you not done
you
that yet?
need a degree.
All right. Let me make my point. If that's the case, why do half of these kids end up with anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 in debt, and they end up getting a job that says, "Oh, sorry, you never needed the degree in the first place"? Why is that the case? Tell me.
People on average, once going to college, make more money.
Hold on, that's not true. They end up getting a job.
That is.
No, that's only if they graduate and it depends on the field of study. Do you know the average college graduate now is getting a job at $61,000 a year.
Well,
the
sure,
average
but the
welder,
plumber isn't able to
$72,000 a
study
year.
with peers.
The plumber didn't go to college. The plumber went to trade or technical school. There's 11 million job openings that do not require a college degree in this country.
Well, who
11
engineered the
million.
stuff plumbers use?
I'm sorry, what?
Who engineered the stuff plumbers use?
I'm sure someone here. I mean, that it's like
someone with a
It's like
degree
saying who
from
designed
college.
the airplane for the pilot to fly. I mean,
Someone with a degree that went to college. Pilots go to
I'm not
college.
I think you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I'm not saying you get rid of all places of higher learning. The way it's currently comprised for you guys, the amount of debt you have to go into, the
Well,
classes
you
that
say
you have to
don't
take.
get rid of places of higher learning, but then you go on to
you're
say
interrupting me
college
every
is a
15
scam.
seconds. You're not debating in good faith because it is a scam. So let me ask you a question. Can you point to other things of American life the last 100 years that have been scams? For example, when they run an advertisement, they say buy these pills because we're going to make you super muscular, and they don't have all the fine print that it might not work, and you have to have a monthly subscription. We shut down that business for being
That's
a
a little
scam.
different, though. That's a
How is it
product.
different? Hold on a second. When you show up to college, did they tell you you have to take all these classes that you didn't sign up for? Did they? It said that you're going to have to take all these different classes. Did they tell you that half of you guys would not ever use your degree when you go into your career? How many of you guys knew that? You guys knew that when you signed up?
Well, college
knew
is
that.
what you
then
make of
you
it,
guys
right?
You guys are willingly participating in the scam. Good for you. The point is this, is that most kids know deep down they're getting ripped off. The number one thing I hear from people across the country in corporate America, boy, college is a waste of time. Boy, I wish I never would have gone. Now I have $60,000 in debt, $70,000 in debt. I wanted to start a business, but now I don't have the credit to do it. Instead, we are wasting our most prized possession, our 18 to 22-year-olds, to go stick them at many universities when they shouldn't be here in the first place. And it is a failed project. It is making us poorer. And by the way, just look at the actual numbers over a period of time. Has it worked? Is homeownership now going up for young college
Well, how
graduates?
are we going to blame that on college, though?
There's
a lot of different reasons that people are not able to buy homes.
It's the most equally applicable thing across the board for a
I wouldn't
generation.
say so.
And if you look at the average, how much debt do you have to go to school, by the way?
None.
None. Okay, wow. Are you on scholarship or?
Yeah,
Okay, so who's paying for your college then?
probably the federal government.
Okay, so I'm paying for your college, is what you're saying. My taxes are paying for your college. So wait, you're on grant or what?
I'm not going to discuss my college finances with
Well, no,
you.
this is really important. This is why you're so defensive of college.
Yeah.
This is why you're so forceful, because you don't have to walk around the rest of your life with a $100,000 student
I know
loan debt.
plenty of people that
because-
have part-time
hold on a second.
jobs and go to college.
This explains you perfectly. I, the taxpayer, when I write my check to the IRS, I'm subsidizing your ability to go to college.
Okay. When
And I
I
think that's a
write
huge
my
mistake,
check to the
'cause-
IRS, I
'cause-
also give money for people to go to college.
You should have skin in the game. You should, and you don't right now. You are doing a freeloading thing. Of course, you should be defensive of
I
college.
pay taxes. I pay federal taxes.
Yeah,
I pay state taxes.
I'm
Well,
sure I
state-
pay a
let's
little
say
bit more
income
than you, but that's a
taxes,
separate issue. But the point is this: is
That's
that
probably true.
do you think you pay anywhere close to the tuition value you get at the school? Probably not.
Yeah, probably I do. It's like $5,000 a semester. It's a lot of money, but you get a lot out of
Wait,
that.
hold on. How much is it to go to school here?
It's around 5,000
So in state.
in state. Yeah.
Okay, did that include room and board and tuition?
No.
Okay, how much does that cost?
Room, board, tuition, all of it's around 11,000.
11,000 a semester. So you pay $22,000 a year in taxes?
No.
Okay, got it. So you're in a tax deficit, which means the U.S. taxpayer is subsidizing your education. That's fine. I'm not faulting you for it, but this is why you're so defensive, is you're detached from the price. You're detached from the cost. It's easy to be defensive of something you're not paying for. Tilt it up, yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I'm just curious about your stance on college as a scam, because I feel like, according to the Hamilton Institute, people who get bachelor degrees over a total lifetime earnings will earn over $1 million more than those who don't. And also, I feel like college is an important place for people to like go learn valuable life lessons. And also, it's good to have like a balanced society, because then you're gonna get artists, you're also gonna get architectures, you're gonna get engineers, you're gonna get all sorts of different people that we need in society. Because like, what's the point in living if we don't have writers or artists, you know? So I just want to get your take on that.
The question is, did the best writers learn to write in college? Probably not, no. The best writers are gifted writing, and they learn to write by writing. And I would just argue that this kind of holistic view you get, for example, what are you studying? Can I ask?
Economics.
Okay, so what do you think of Thomas Sowell?
I actually really like him. I bought his book, Basic Economics.
Great.
He's one of the first economists
Do they teach it here?
Not yet, but also I've only been
Okay,
for like
so now
1
you're proving
year.
my point. If you're studying economics and they're not teaching Thomas Sowell, you're not getting an education, you're getting an indoctrination.
Well,
And you're
no.
being scammed.
Okay.
Milton Friedman, do they teach Milton Friedman here?
No, but I'm aware of him.
Okay, Ludwig von Mises,
I'm aware of him, but no.
Murray
Well,
Rothbard, hold on.
No.
F.A. Hayek,
No.
Frederick Bastiat.
No.
You're not getting economics education, you're getting an indoctrination. You should know every single, it's not your fault, but what you're paying for or going into debt for is not a real economic education. Those are the people that theorized about free markets, which is a legitimate school of thinking, monetarism, private property rights, and the fact that I'm not criticizing you, I'm criticizing the institution that's failing you, that you don't know what these people believe and you're not being taught that rigorously, proves my point that college is a scam.
Yeah, but again, I've only been here like a semester and a half. So.
But do you know who John Maynard Keynes is?
Heard of him. Actually,
Okay.
we did read about him a little bit.
Okay, so you read about John Maynard Keynes, but
In
you
class.
were Keynes.
Yeah, in class. I learned
Yeah,
about him
okay.
in class.
Right, so that's my point, is that they'll teach you Keynes, but they won't teach you one out of the 7 people that I mentioned of Bastiat, Hayek, von Mises, Rothbard, Sowell, or Friedman. And that proves my point, which is that it's all demand side. It's all one picture of an economic argument that is not the complete picture of what. Now, maybe later on you'll get a supply side, economics teacher here, but this idea that you go to college to kind of get your worldview liberated, yet you get your worldview altered, to be perfectly honest. Secondly, to your point of earnings over a period of time, it matters completely and solely on what you study.
Yeah.
If you study the liberal arts, even after 10 years, study came out yesterday, 16 lowest paid majors happen to be some of the highest majors that people actually go and study, which is liberal arts, sociology. God bless people that do that stuff, I suppose. But you're also filled with all of the woke rubbish that is infecting our society.
What exactly do you mean by college is a scam?
Good question. I wrote a whole book about it. Largely the value proposition that you are being offered is not worth the time or the money that many of you are forking over. There's exceptions to that generally, but for example, the vast majority of students that graduate from four-year college, they'll end up getting a job, if they get a job at all, in a career or a job that doesn't require a college degree. So henceforth, asking the question, why did they go to college in the first place?
Okay, now what do you mean about jobs that don't require a college degree?
Like working at Starbucks as a barista.
Okay, so what exactly do you mean by the value proposition not being sufficient for the cost of going to college?
Yeah, so going $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 into debt, that's a significant thing. And hopefully if you're going to do that, you're going to be able to prove and have some value for that reason. So for example, there was a study that just came out in the last day, the 16 lowest paying job majors, and the vast majority of those are actually what kids study in college, right? Communications, liberal arts, things of that nature. And so the question is, why even go to college at all if you're just basically getting a credential that is worth less and less money in the marketplace? Now, if you study engineering, if you study finance, terrific, but the scam also is just beyond the financial value proposition. It's the ideological pollutants that are spread on college campuses and the, let's just say, some of the left-wing indoctrination that occurs here as well.
Okay, so moving aside from that red herring there, I myself am a communication major, And I am very well aware of the communication majors who just take a 4-year degree and go into jobs that either don't require a degree or...
Try to get as close to the mic as you can. Is that okay? Thank you. It's okay.
But anyways, I'm aware of the communication majors who only get a bachelor's degree, and if they're lucky, they're only able to get research assistant jobs in communication, or not even get a job that requires a degree at all. But would not those who continue on to get masters and doctorates in communication, who get hundreds, who get $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year research jobs, would that not counteract the total economic, socioeconomic value of those who just go into college and then end up Starbucks baristas?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, also master's degrees are expensive, right? PhDs are expensive, so you're looking at least at 150 minimum if you're going to do that. And if that's the path you want to take, so be it. But there are 11 million job openings in the country right now that pay $80,000 or more that don't require a college degree. 11 million job openings. And I don't think we're always telling our young people, the next generation, that these jobs are available to you. It's an expectation that you go to 4-year college, and in fact, you're treated and almost considered to be dumb if you don't go to 4-year university. And I think that's a big mistake. And not to mention the vast majority, 41% of kids that enter college do not graduate. There's something deeply wrong with the system.
So, from what you're telling me,
final
though,
point.
college itself, but rather the individual paths that people choose who look at a situation, make the wrong decisions, don't stay in school as long as they need to in order to get the career that they want.
Or they drop out because they don't see the value. They drop out because they don't think it's worth their time. And again, half of this audience, after 10 years, if they get a job, they'll end up getting a job that didn't require them going to college in the first place. Half. That sounds like a scam. Why are they here in the first place? Why are they borrowing all this money and spending 4 years on a university just to go get a job that never would have required them to get the degree or the debt or the 4 years being spent on campus? Thanks for the time. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Do you view democracy as an American value, something that's very important to the fabric of this country?
No. Where is democracy in the U.S. Constitution?
Oh, okay. So
No, hold on. Where is the word democracy?
I don't think the word democracy is in the Constitution.
So where is the word democracy in any of the founding fathers?
A lot of the founding fathers had extremely elitist viewpoints around who should...
Hold on. I just you said the word democracy, so I want to get back to our roots.
Yes.
Where is democracy mentioned? In the Federalist Papers, the Constitution, or the Declaration?
I think it's good that this country has moved away from things that were explicitly believed by the founding
in the Federalist
fathers.
Papers, and it's mentioned negatively as a problem. So you ask me, is democracy a fundamental American value? I say no.
Okay.
Because I go back to our roots. And Hamilton, Madison, and Jay...
Oh, I know that Hamilton was anti-democracy.
Hold on,
these
let me
people
finish.
thought that people should be owned as
I want to be
property.
clear. I am pro-representative government,
okay,
but I'm not pro-democracy. That's a big difference, and that distinction's important. But you asked very specifically about democracy, which is not an American value. It never has been and never should be, because what is democracy? Democracy is majority rule no matter what. That there's no provisions of checks and balances, no inalienable rights, no separation of powers, pure if the majority gets it, the majority wants it as quickly as possible.
I don't advocate pure democracy. I do understand that we live in a representative, we live in a republic, and I understand these things.
representative government.
Okay.
And you might say I'm splitting hairs on words, but I'm not.
Well, just coming from a place where on some level we have a level of democracy in this country and people vote and it is part of their civic duty to vote.
Sure.
Yes. Do you not think it is in the greater interest of this country at large that its citizens are as educated as possible to therefore be able to participate in that system?
I think they should be as wise as possible, and I don't think that education and wisdom are the same thing.
Yeah,
in fact,
I understand.
I think college disincentivizes the cultivation of wisdom.
In the age where there is such a hypersaturation of, and we've seen this, extremely polarizing, people are getting their news from wildly different sources,
yes,
people just don't interact with the other side at all. Do you think that being an autodidact in any sense of the term is going to give you a thorough and rigorous education if you are so likely to end up sucked into these holes where you're never interacting with people who
That's not my only form of learning. I meet a lot of cool people. I learn from people like you and others. I mean, I'm listening when you're talking. It's not just a shtick. You haven't won me over on any of it, but you had an opportunity to. But I'm glad you attempted to. But yeah, I mean, you learn in other ways other than just sitting in a classroom listening to a professor drone on for 90 minutes and pretending to read his book and paying $20,000 a semester to cheat on the exam at the end of the semester.
I think college is what you make of it. I think
I agree. So is life.
People are selling themselves short on their education
I agree.
if they don't.
You can listen to
get
as many
anything out of their
podcasts as you
classes.
want. You can meet interesting people. And
Academia does have like an actual level of like. You have to prove that you're worth your salt, at least to have peer-reviewed papers published,
No, I mean, yeah,
which you don't have to do to start a podcast.
If you get a PhD, yes, but hold on. So is your contention that I'm not informed or not worldly or not wise? I want to be clear.
I'm not making any claims about your specific level of being informed. I'm
Okay.
saying the general rhetoric on the right against education, against higher education
Well, hold on.
specifically.
Why do you think it is? Is it because you think we hate smart people, or is it that there's something happening here that we really think is troubling?
I think it's much easier to control people who are less educated.
See, now you're a conspiracy theorist. So, no, it's...
Anti-intellectualism is a hallmark of fascism.
Do you think we're against higher education because it largely has created an ungrateful, unprepared generation that goes into the American body politic and does not share the core American values of freedom of speech, gratitude for our founding, consent of the governed? In fact, it's hyper-radical. And it's against our traditions, our norms, and our customs, and it's created massive fissures. We call that the woke mind virus, if you will.
Okay, that makes...
It's not because people are easier to control. In fact, we love learning. I learn every day. In fact, that's why I'm pro Hillsdale College, where it's probably one of the hardest colleges in the country to get into and graduate from. The problem is that when you are learning largely trash and crap, and you're not going in the pursuit of truth, beauty, or goodness, and you're not trying to inculcate wisdom or good character,
there's no oversight on online political punditry to make sure that you're in pursuit of wisdom and goodness.
No, of course
you
there's not.
directly profit from propagating viewpoints that are more polarizing and that suck people deeper into more conspiratorial thinking.
Hold on. So what you're doing is you're actually insulting the audience, not me. Because the vast majority of this audience actually enjoys watching my videos, and they enjoy hearing from me.
I never said your audience didn't enjoy watching your videos.
Because you say I'm profiting. The way
you do profit, you financially, you make a ton of money from getting more clicks.
The audience rewards me because they find that I bring some value.
Well, I don't
and that they
necessarily
learn something from
that
me.
whatever gets
I
the
want to get
most
to the next
eyes
question.
on a specific...
But it's easy to attack me as exploitation. What I say is actually very popular and resonates with people. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you.